Hey guys, this is Jessica Gutierrez with Clean With Me podcast. This is a podcast where I walk you through cleaning your house step by step. So let's clean together. Thank you for joining us today. So today is going to be a extension of our deep cleaning series, and this is Jessica. I'm going to do an episode on deep cleaning your car, and cleaning my car is something that I've always struggled with even before I had kids. I'm talking since I just learned how to drive. I've had trouble keeping my car clean. Anyone that knows me can attest to that. And lately I've been trying to be a lot better about it, but let's face it. A lot of us live in our cars. We have hectic lives. We eat in our cars. We have to feed our kids in the car. And if you have kids, minivans, and you're feeding kids in the minivans, this food's going to get thrown on the floor. There's going to be stains. If you have pets that you cart around, there's going to be pet hair. There's going to be stains as well. If you don't have any of that and you're just a single person or a married person, newlywed, what have you, and let's say you just have a busy life and you're just always eating out of your car, what have you, like I was back in the day. I was a bachelor, but I was always in my car because I always had places to be. I had to eat on the run. I ate a lot of fast food, and my car got dirty real quick. So since in the spirit of getting better and trying to find things that work and ways to keep our lives and our houses more organized and clean together, let's get started on this deep cleaning episode, guys. So first things first, whatever you've got going on in your life, first step to cleaning your car, you want to get rid of any debris or anything that does not belong in your car. So toys, trash. I always start with the trash. I get a trash bag. And I'm telling on myself a little bit here. My car will go from 0 to 100 in 2 days. I will do a deep clean of my car. 2 days later, I've got a whole bag of trash, and that's okay. Like I said, I practically live in my car. So you want to remove all of the stuff like that. I usually get a trash bag and I just go from the front of the car to the back, get every piece of trash out of the car. I try to get as much as possible. Anything that cannot get picked up via vacuum. And while I'm throwing away the trash, I also tend to throw coins in the little cup holders and center consoles and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't want to vacuum up money. And my 3-year-old Rosalie has requested to join me during the recording process because yesterday I let her be a part of it. So if you hear little murmurs, I apologize. So once you've gotten all of the trash, you want to get everything that does not belong in the car. And since this is deep cleaning, I'm talking everything. Now, I have certain things that I bring to work every day where if I take them out of my car, it's going to throw me off. And since they're always in my car, I'm probably going to forget them for work. So for those things, I do put them in the trunk. So I will set them aside, in my case, until the end of the cleaning my car. And I will put them in the trunk at the end. That way my car still looks clean, but I have them in case of emergency for work, my backup uniforms, etc. that I like to keep in my car. So I just set that stuff aside. So if you have anything like that you need on your day-to-day that you keep in your car, just set it aside while you're doing the deep cleaning, and then we'll add it to wherever the glove compartment or your trunk or wherever you keep stuff like that. But everything else, anything that doesn't belong, shoes, maybe you changed your shirt in your car, just anything that's keepable that you're not going to throw away, but that doesn't belong in your car, go ahead and get that out of the car. If you have a lot in your car and maybe you've just been throwing stuff in your trunk, maybe you just came back from a trip, maybe there's a multitude of reasons why you might have a lot of stuff in your car that's accumulated. Maybe it's just been a while since you've cleaned it out and maybe you have a stockpile of stuff in your trunk. If so, just no worries. Grab a garbage bag. We're going to take care of this today. Nothing is too crazy, too daunting. We can get this done. It doesn't matter how far you've let your car go. Trust me, I've let it gone further than you. So grab a big trash bag and then just put everything in there, set it aside, and we're going to go through that at the end of the episode. We're going to get rid of things that you need to get rid of. Maybe there's been something in your trunk forever, you even forgot it existed. It might be time to let that thing go, whether it's an article of clothing or whatever it is. But maybe you've been looking for the thing and you're happy that you cleaned out your car now because you get to see all the long lost stuff that's been in your trunk. So grab everything and anything, doesn't matter how bad, like I said, and all the keeping stuff, put in a big trash bag or a small trash bag, or just put it away if it's only a couple of things. Whatever the state of your car is, that's fine. We're going to get this done. So, once you're done getting the trash and everything else out of the vehicle that doesn't belong in the vehicle, let's work on stuff that does belong in the vehicle but are going to be in the way during the cleaning process. So I'm talking car seats, I'm talking paperwork in your glove box, stuff like that. Chargers, because we're going to get in every nook and cranny today. So let's just take all the chargers, everything that goes in your car on a daily basis that isn't necessarily something that we want to put away. It's going right back in the car, and we're just going to set that aside in a pile or a bag, whatever you prefer, and we're going to set that aside for after we're done doing the deep clean. Now, whether we have leather seats or cloth seats, either way, we're going to need to vacuum. So once you've got everything out of your car and car seats, what have you, everything's out of the car. If you need to bring your kids with you, if you have kids and you don't have a vacuum at the house and you're having to go to a car wash, that's fine. You can just unbuckle the car seats once you get to the car wash and vacuum underneath them and everything. But if you do not have kids or you have a vacuum at the house, then ignore that comment and just get everything out. I have a little hand vacuum. It's not very powerful, so when my car is bad or I'm doing a deep cleaning, I have a friend that has a very strong vacuum that's like industrial grade, and they live nearby, so I'll either use that or I will go to the car wash and pay for a vacuum. But whatever way you're going to vacuum your car, now's the time. You've got everything out. Grab your chargers and all the stuff that's going back in, put them away if you have to head to the car wash, and head to the car wash, and let's just do a very thorough vacuuming of every nook and cranny. I want you to do the most thorough vacuuming you've ever done. Make sure you don't forget your trunk, because we cleaned out our trunk, right? So we got to get everything. If you can get in the dashboard and stuff and do that, we're going to wipe all that stuff down later, but anything you can vacuum, do. If you missed the coins from before, you got some coins in your glove compartment or your cup holders, things like that, just take them out. Put them in a container or your purse or what have you, and go ahead and do that very thorough vacuuming of everything. Make sure you're getting under your seats, just in the cracks, underneath car seats, in your car seats. It now would be a good time also to wash your car seat covers. I know it's really annoying to put your car seat covers back together, but I know mine get dirty really quickly. So if you do have small children with car seats, now's the time to go ahead wash those as well. And once you're done doing the thorough vacuuming, whether that's at your home, if you have stuff on hand, if you have a vacuum that's strong enough for the job, or you went to the car wash. If you have small kids that enjoy going through the car wash, you could do that part now. Or if you just need to clean the exterior of your car at a car wash, you could do that now while you're already there. And then let's head back home and do the remainder of the deep clean. of the interior, because we're focusing on the interior today. If you want to do the outside of your car and do a deep clean of the outside as well, you can do that and pause or rewind or do it at the end of the episode. But for the sake of the episode, let's just say you're going through the car wash, pausing me and then getting back home to finish deep cleaning that interior now that it's nice and vacuumed for you. So if you're like me, you might have some serious stainage going on. Now, first things first is floor mats. If you have rubber or vinyl or silicone mats, you can take those out and using warm water and dish soap, dip it in a scrub brush and scrub those rubber mats. Get them nice and clean. Do a nice little rinse off. If you don't have a hose available, you can just grab a cup of water and rinse them off. But yeah, just use some warm water and some dish soap. And that's going to be the main thing we're going to use to clean the car, because we don't want to use any harsh chemicals. And I will tell you later on in the episode what not to use, or I guess I could tell you right now. Let's not use anything ammonia based. It's going to damage the interior of your car. It could damage your upholstery or interior surfaces of your car. Also, any harsh household cleaners that contain large amounts of bleach and stuff, we don't want to use any of that in your car. Any kind of upholstery cleaner that's made for a car, you can use that. Disinfecting wipes. I love using disinfecting wipes for cleaning my car. I would have those on hand. But definitely, as far as supplies go for this part, you want toothbrushes. If you don't have disinfecting wipes, microfiber cloths. I have lots of throwaway rags. My husband left me with a bunch of industrial grade and just rags that he gets from the business that he does. He has his own business doing crime scene cleanup. So he lets he has a big stockpile of them basically. And so he has given me a couple bags to use for cleaning purposes. So I have some of those set aside for when I'm cleaning my car. So if you don't have that, just get a few rags or microfiber cloths, and you can use those and a little bit of dish soap and some warm water to clean. We don't want to get anything too damp in the car because that creates mold. Or, like I said, you want to use some disinfecting wipes. Those work great as well, or if you have upholstery cleaners. But going back to the mats, if you do not have rubber mats and you have carpet mats or any mats that aren't rubber, vinyl, or silicone, you want to vacuum them, which we already did that. And then we're going to use an upholstery cleaner or, like a Resolve, for example. And I recommend if you just have a spray upholstery cleaner, that works great. The one that you use in the house for your couches, what have you, that's going to work great for the inside of your car, your mats. If you have a special car upholstery cleaner, that's great. But really any kind of carpet cleaner will work. And the one that I used to use, I have done a car episode before. It wasn't a deep cleaning one. It was just a little spruce up one. But I used to keep a carpet clean or upholstery cleaner. And it was this foaming cleaner. And on the head of the cleaner, it came with a little scrub brush. And so it was a kind of all-in-one deal, and I loved using that for my car because it didn't get it too wet and it cleaned it really well. So if you can get one of those, that would work great. Or if you just have a spray carpet cleaner, upholstery cleaner, again, use a rag microfiber cloth. Try not to get it too damp and just slightly damp. Make sure you wring it out real good and then spray a little bit of that cleaner on your mats. And if your mats are the type that you can throw in the wash, then you could just put them in the washing machine. Not all mats are machine washable, but if they are, you can definitely do that. But I would definitely spot clean it first before throwing them in the washer. That way you could really get those stains out of the mats. So moving on, after you've cleaned your mats, we're going to do the windows and the mirrors on the inside of your car. And again, we don't want to use anything ammonia based because that could damage the inside of your car. It also can damage if you have any kind of touch screen or a backup camera. It could damage the coating of the screens inside of your car. So definitely do not spray with anything. We want to use disinfecting wipes or just dish soap and water, microfiber cloth, wrung out, and just very carefully wiping down those areas, but do not use anything ammonia based or bleach based on your screens or your upholstery or your dashboard or anything like that. Any of the plastics that could damage. So just gently clean your mirrors, dust using those wipes or rags. For the sake of repetition, I don't want to keep repeating myself, so I'm just going to say whatever it is you're using, or I'm going to use the word rags and you'll know what I mean now that I've explained what to use. So using your rags, let's go ahead and move on to center consoles and any kind of your gear shift controls, all of that good stuff. That's where the toothbrush comes in. I mentioned having a toothbrush on hand. You want to get a little container with some warm water and some dish soap. Hopefully you still have that. If not, go ahead and get some more, and then have your rags nearby and wring them out again very thoroughly. We don't want to get anything too wet, or use your disinfecting wipes. For your center console, if the holder is removable, you can take that out and soak that into your container with your warm water and your soap. Let that soak in there, and then do a wipe down with a dry cloth. And if it is not removable, that's where the toothbrush comes in. You can get a toothbrush and clean in there really nice and well, or you can get anything that'll fit in. If you have a little sponge you want to use, anything you have on hand to get those cup cleaners nice and sparkling, and then just get a dry rag, go behind the wet one, and just dry everything up. Again, not using anything harsh, just dish soap and water. Same thing with the gear stick and controls and stuff. We're going to use the microfiber cloths. And while you're cleaning those things, if there's anything that's hard to reach and the toothbrush won't get it, you can use a cotton swab, or you can get a wet paper towel, wrap it around the tip of a butter knife or a flathead screwdriver, anything you can get to try to reach it, and you couldn't vacuum, and just get in every nook and cranny and just wipe it up really thoroughly and nice. We want to get all of those little cracks. Again, flathead screwdriver or a butter knife. Butter knives work great for me. I wrap something around it, whether it be the rag, disinfecting wipe, or a paper towel, and I just get in there with a little bit of that warm water soap solution and try to clean all the little nooks and crannies, all the little areas around your gear shift, around your controls, your dash. And while we're talking about the dashboard, we want to go ahead and remove all of the dust and grime from that. Same thing, use cotton swabs to get into the vents and the knobs, or anything you have on hand. You can do a dry dust first to get all of the dust off of your dashboard and your little control center and everything, and then you go behind it with a damp cloth or interior car wipes. Get that disinfecting wipe and disinfect your steering wheel as well. And once you've done a really good thorough job of cleaning out all of that, including your glove compartment, any basically all of the controls, all of the dashboard, all of the steering things around the steering wheel, underneath the steering wheel. We got all of that dusted and cleaned off. We're going to move on to the seats now. We did a thorough vacuum earlier, so now if you have leather, you want to be really careful with the leather. You can wipe it down with your rags, do a really thorough wipe down. Again, not too wet, just wipe it down. If you have special leather cleaner, that's better, saddle soap and water, anything like that. If you have special cleaner for your leather, that's recommended. If not, just use something that's, again, what we're still using, the damp cloth, and just wipe all of it down. If you have a leather conditioner that you can use after, great. Now, if you have like a minivan or something, or an SUV, probably have cloth car seats. I have cloth car seats myself, so after doing my thorough vacuum, I like to pre-treat my stains with my Resolve or my upholstery cleaner. And since we've taken the mats out already, I want to go ahead and get all of those stains, pre-treat them. So I'm going to spray them, or if I have the unit with the scrub brush attached to it, I'm going to go ahead and do a little scrub of all of the stains, let those sit for a little bit, and make sure that the upholstery cleaner is really in there. The Resolve is really in there. And Resolve is a brand. It's just a carpet cleaner. You don't have to use that brand. That's just the brand that I can remember the name of at the time, and it's a name brand, and it's the one that I have in my house. So that's why I keep saying that. But you can use any kind of upholstery cleaner, not just Resolve, of course. It's not like I'm sponsored by them or anything. You can use whatever works for you. I just, happen to have that. Once they've sat for a minute, scrub them. Again, don't get anything too wet. And it is going to get a little damp, and we're going to talk about that. So if you had a lot of stains, let's say, and your interior, the interior seats of your car that we have spot cleaned and scrubbed are pretty damp, and so are the floors. What we want to do is we don't want to get mold. Okay, so to prevent mold, if you have a freestanding fan that you can plug in, if you have an outlet outside of your house that you can plug a fan onto, open up all of your doors and just kind of leave it overnight, or not overnight, just for a few hours, depending on, you want to leave the doors and windows open overnight, if at all possible. The fan, let me rephrase, we don't want to leave overnight, but if you have a fan, that'll quicken the process. You can leave the fan on pointed towards the area that's the most damp and just move it around to the different areas, let it sit for a little bit. My husband likes to do the fan method when he's cleaning his upholstery. But if at all possible, like I said, leave those doors and windows open to let it air out, because we don't want to get mold in our car. And don't forget your seatbelts. Make sure you get those rags dipped in our solution, or your disinfecting wipes, and we're going to get those seatbelts as well. Seat buckles around the seatbelt buckles. If you have grime inside of the seatbelt, use the little butter knife trick with a paper towel and get inside of there. Clean out the inside of your seatbelt buckles, but don't forget your seatbelts. Get those nice and clean as well. And while you're doing your carpeting and your seats and making sure that those are nice and clean, once you're done with that, let's go ahead and move on to the side doors of the car. Now, in my car, and I know in some minivans and stuff like the SUVs, the side paneling isn't just vinyl. It's got or plastic. It's got some carpeting, or whatever you want to call it, upholstery to it. So again, spot clean that as well. If there's any splatters, if it's plastic or vinyl, we want to go ahead and wipe it down. So clean the sides, and if you have most of the car doors have little side pockets, and minivans have some in the back as well. So make sure you get all of the little cup holders, all the little side pockets, and use same method, toothbrush or whatever it is you can get in there, scrub brush, toothbrush, cotton balls, whatever you can get, and just rag. Get in there, get your rags and clean those. Make sure you get every single one. Do the same method on each one. Make sure you get the side doors, the panels on the inside. If you notice that you missed something vacuum-wise, you can always make a trip back to the car wash and do a little more vacuuming. But you should be able to just wipe up any crumbs or anything that have fallen in those side pockets of the back doors. Now, let's say something got in your car and you've got a tough odor, and that has sparked you to want to clean your car. You cleaned your car out, but there's still an odor. What you can do is if you have cloth interior, you can sprinkle baking soda on the seats, leave it overnight, and then vacuum it up the next day. If it's still lingering, you can get some baking soda or activated charcoal in a sealed plastic container, cut some slits in the lid, put it underneath the seats, and change those contents monthly. That'll help. Baking soda is great for clearing out odors for your refrigerator, your car, what have you. If the smell still persists, you might have some mold or something more serious that's keeping. If your car is completely cleaned out and there's still an odor, you might want to try going to a professional, because it might be something that's, if you've done all of the steps that I just said, and you still have an odor persisting after doing the baking soda and all that, you might need to have a professional car cleaner come detail your car. But we're trying to prevent that. So that's an extreme. And before we go, I just want to give you a few tips to keep your car clean. So I have a little silicone, I guess they're called like baking cups. I don't know. It's like a cover that goes inside my cup holder. It's like a second cup holder inside my cup holder. And basically that just helps me keep it clean. So earlier, like I said, I could just pop it out, let it soak in some water, clean it, put it back. And that's a lot easier than getting in there with a toothbrush every single time to clean out my cup holders, because my cup holders do get dirty pretty easily because I drink my coffees every morning. Sometimes they spill, and milk in hot Texas weather doesn't mix, so we want to clean that daily. So that's why I have those. So if you can get those, get those. Another little trick I read about was somebody had an organizer in one of those, I guess they use them for plastic file organizer, and you can put it in your glove compartment and keep all your little cleaning tools in there. So keep a butter knife with some paper towels in there, a couple single paper towels. Obviously a whole paper towel thing isn't going to fit in there. Your toothbrush that you use for cleaning, other cotton balls, etc. Any little cleaning supplies that you might need, keep those in that file folder. That way they're put away. They're not going to fall out of your glove compartment every time you open it, and they're just kind of contained. That's a nice little way to organize that. Now, if you have pets, keep a pet. Keep a pet roller or a what are they called? Lint roller. Sorry. A lint roller for any pet hair. Keep that in the back seat in one of those little side pockets. If you have pets, try to keep a backseat pet cover. I like to keep covers on all of my seats that are machine washable. That way I don't have to deep clean like this quite so often, and because I know that I've got dirty little kids in the back seat. So I like to have things that are easy to clean. So I like to keep covers on my seats, and I like to keep a little vinyl cover on the back seat of my car in the back that I got. It's actually for pets, but I got it just for when my kids throw things on the ground, so my floor doesn't get all stained up, because I do have a new old vehicle, that is. I bought it cash, but that's neither here nor there. And then another way to keep it clean is, what do we do with our little receipts and our little, straw, trash, receipt paper, just little trash things in there, things here and there that we just toss in our car, right? Or our kids do. Try keeping a small little sealed zip-up container in a door or a pocket for bits of trash that end up on the floor, or cup holders. A narrow treat holder, like a dog treat holder, can work as a trash can for your car, or a treat dispenser works good too. You can use that as a little trash can. Kid kick mats for little kids, again, easy to clean mats in the backseat for your kids, because they have little muddy feet. Trash, just anything that'll make your life easier, like I said, so you're not having to do this deep clean quite as often. If you're noticing anything that you missed, any interior windows that you missed, because if you have a minivan, you probably have multiple windows. Before we finish, when you open your doors, that little area in between that outside of your car and the inside of your car with the tracks for your door or minivan, get a scrub brush, dip it in that solution that we had, and just scrub that clean with your scrub brush, and then wipe it with a dry cloth. Get those nice and clean. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you got your car clean. This is something that you can re-listen to every time that you're cleaning your car out and you have a deep clean of your car. You don't have to listen to us just once, save this episode, and whenever your car gets bad, revisit it and re-listen to it and get that car nice and deep cleaned. I hope you learned something today. I definitely needed a deep clean of my car today, so I needed this more than you probably, but I hope this can help somebody out, and as always, happy cleaning.